So I used to take care of marketing for a company called Healthify Me, and I'll tell you what we did both from a B2C and from a B2B perspective. Start off with B2C. Healthify Me, for those of you who've not heard, happens to be India's largest online mobile health and fitness mobile application with over 25 million users. And it is a freemium app on the B2C side, which means there are certain aspects that are free, certain aspects that are premium or paid for. The free aspect involves a calorie counter. It has the world's largest database of Indian foods that are mapped to accurate calorie breakdowns and proteins, carbs, vitamins, etc. So regardless of whether Kedar has had some kind of an exotic breakfast from an Arunachal, Assam, Gujarat, Kashmir, Kanyakumari, Lakshadweep, Andaman, Daman and Diu, it doesn't matter. All of that will be on the app. So Kedar would get to know how many calories he's consumed, whether he's eaten the right kind of food, is it aligning with his health goals. And then Kedar has gone for, say, a 5-kilometer jog today morning. He's done a set of Surya Namaskars today morning. He gets to know how many calories he's burnt. It makes Kedar a lot more mindful of his eating habits, his workout patterns, and it's like a daily diary. That is the free aspect. That's available for free. Now, the premium service involves creating personalized health, fitness, and yoga plans depending on the health goals of the user. And that is a paid service. Healthify has a team of coaches, AI-driven nutritionist, chatbot, etc., through which these services are provided. Now, when I first joined Healthify, I had a huge culture shock because for the first time in my life, it was not Google search, which was the number one dhanda driver, which was the number one ROI driver. It was actually Facebook, which was the number one breadwinner and ROI driver for Healthify. That was because Healthify was operating in the space of weight loss. It was enabling a 40-something middle-aged person overcome 10 kilograms of excess body weight, a beer belly, hypertension, diabetes, and rediscover its healthier and fitter selves. Right? And it was helping that person lose weight and get a better handle on life. It was enabling a 30-something young mother overcome post-pregnancy body weight increase and thereby rediscover her confident self, her older confident self. It was enabling a 20-something young man get a six-pack ab and muscle up. Essentially, it operates in the space of health and weight loss, which is very close to the identity of an individual. And all of the communication that we did as a brand, we didn't do any direct advertising ourselves. Everything was customer testimonial-led. It was all video-led, high empathy communication, and it was all authentic retellings from these customers on the kind of life transformation journeys that they have been through after using the Healthify platform. And all of this does really well on Facebook, which is the reason why Facebook worked really, really well for us. Facebook would really work well in these kinds of scenarios where you can strike a very strong personal connect, which for example is proactive health tech, the space that a Healthify a cult fit operates in, or fashion, which is again a very involved purchase, Nykaa, Myntra, these kinds of spaces, Facebook would work really, really well. But before we get into the other scenario where your niche and your low-end personal connect, let's spend some time in understanding the B2B context. What if you're B2B? There are a couple of nuances here. You need to ask yourself a question. I'm B2B, yes, but the key decision maker to whom I'm selling to, the persona of the decision maker to whom I'm selling to in my target list of companies, is that person a white collar working professional and is he or she active on digital, especially on LinkedIn? I think that's a question you've got to ask yourself. Let me give you an example. In Healthify, we used to do a lot of corporate wellness programs where we used to sell to a lot of large business houses. We used to sell employee engagement plans. We used to sell it to an Infosys, a Tata, Reliance, McKinsey, etc. Large business houses in the country. We used to sell employee wellness and engagement programs. In this case, we were selling to CHROs, or we also used to sell to CXOs. They were the primary decision makers because they had the ability to influence. Even if they were not the decision makers, they were the influencers in the decision. So the decision makers were HR, the influencers were CXOs, and all of these guys are very active on LinkedIn. So we used to use LinkedIn as the main channel for both influencing brand perception, making sure that we are seen as a thought leader in this space, and of course generating enough corporate enterprise leads and for our corporate wellness programs. That's something that worked really well. So in this particular case, if you're B2B and if your primary decision maker and influencer both, they are active on LinkedIn, or at least one of them are active on LinkedIn, then you can make LinkedIn your number one focus. But digital is not the answer every time, right? I know a lot of businesses which are B2B and which they sell to schools, right? You don't have a lot of school principals who are active on, say, LinkedIn. And of course, they are active on Facebook and YouTube, but your ROI is going to be very poor if you had to target school principals. It's such a niche, small community on, say, a mass platform like a YouTube or a Facebook. You would see a lot of irrelevant targeting efforts. It's very difficult to target. So what I would recommend in such cases is you have more of an event-led acquisition approach, wherein you have this kind of high-touch acquisition, where you have a lot of these events, you have industry partnerships, for engaging with a lot of these key decision makers and influencers like school principals, trust heads, etc. And the other option is for you to explore channel partnerships, wherein you work with another player who is already selling to schools, who already has that network and that level of trust built in with schools, and you bundle your offering along with theirs and you have a revenue share. I think that would be another option for you to consider. We spoke about two scenarios earlier. We spoke about a scenario where you need to make combination of SEO plus SEM, overall Google as your number one focus, because your customers are searching for keywords related to your category on Google. The second category was your niche and you're high on personal connect, in which case you make Facebook your number one focus. Now, what happens if you're not that lucky, right? You have a double whammy. You are low on personal connect. That's just the nature of the category. And you are niche. You don't have enough people searching for you on Google. What do you do then? It's a double whammy, right? Let me give you an example of this. Razorpay is a B2B payments company. We are not a peer-to-peer payments company. We are not a Google Pay. We are not Phone Pay. We are not Paytm. We are a B2B payments company, which enables businesses to be able to receive funds from their end customers and pay out funds to their vendor partners and raw material suppliers. It's a B2B company. Now, we don't have a lot of people searching for keywords related to this category on Google. It's niche. It is not a massy category. It's not like selling t-shirts online. And it's low on personal connect. It's just the nature of the category itself. Let's face it, Kedar is not going to wake up in the morning and get excited about the fact that he's going to start using a payment gateway product. It's not like health and fitness. It's not like weight loss. It's not like becoming healthier and fitter, which is very close to the identity of an individual. It has a very strong personal connect. Here, the personal connect is still limited, which is just the nature of the category. There's nothing we can do about it. There's no point taking it personally. So in this case, at Razorpay, we make SEO a big focus, not just for creating content, for focusing on keywords which are relevant to the business, the here and the now, which is of course like B2B payments, payment gateway, payment link, etc., which is important. I need to do that, right? That's where the business reality is today. But I don't have enough people searching for those keywords. So what I also do is I also focus on keyword pools that are slightly neighboring to my business, slightly tangential to my business, but still extremely relevant for my target customer. Who's my target customer? Entrepreneurs, small scale business owners, startup founders. These are my target customers. And I focus on keyword pools that are still relevant for this persona. So we've noticed that there are 3 sets of keyword pools where a lot of these entrepreneurs have questions on. And there is a lot of search volume here, which is much larger than the core B2B payment centric keyword volume, which is around digital literacy, financial literacy, and compliance. A lot of digital entrepreneurs, they need help with understanding, things like how do they use digital marketing for growing their business. They need help with understanding, how do you navigate GST compliance maze. A lot of them don't understand GST. A lot of them don't understand how to read a P&L and a balance sheet, right? So we create content around all of these different topics under each of these heads: digital literacy, financial literacy, compliance. Now, what is the relevance for these keyword pools to Razorpay's business? Very less. But what is it relevant for my end customer? Absolutely. And these keyword volumes, there are a lot more people who are searching for these kinds of keyword pools than they are for searching for B2B payments. So I'm giving my brand Razorpay an opportunity to gain access to a larger volume of customers, larger volume of eyeballs, larger volume of prospects, getting them in as part of my marketing funnel, exposing my brand to a larger audience, and then engaging and nurturing them over a period of time and converting them into paying customers. In summary, if you are mass, you make Google your number one focus. If you're niche, high on personal connect, you make Facebook your focus. If you're B2B and in your target companies, your key decision makers and influencers are active on, or white collar professionals active on LinkedIn, make LinkedIn your focus. If you're not that lucky and you are in B2B, you focus more on event-led acquisition, high-touch acquisition and engagement, plus channel partnerships. If you are niche and you are low on personal connect, which is a very difficult space to be in, like in the Razorpay example that I just gave you, you focus on SEO, not just on keywords related to your business, but also on slightly neighboring keywords, which may not be relevant to your business, but have much higher keyword demand volumes and are still relevant for your target customer. But you've got to focus on a couple of things. One, in SEO, it's called on-page optimization. And the second one is called off-page optimization. On-page, as the term and the name suggests, it's about all of the efforts that you undertake to make sure that the elements on your page are optimized for better SEO rankings. Like, for example, you make sure that the content is relevant, your header tags, your meta title, meta description for the page, they are relevant. Your page is well optimized, in terms of information structure through something called a schema to make sure that the Google bot can read your page really well. Your page's user experience is really good, which means that people don't just come and leave. That's again a signal back to Google, right? If people just come to your page and leave every now and then, that means that it's a signal to Google that your page is irrelevant. So you need to make sure that your page user experience is really good and your page loads really quickly. It's very important. Latency is very important. Right? That's extremely important for you to improve, because if your page takes forever to load, people are going to leave. And Google, that's going to be a signal to Google that your page is irrelevant. So it'll start, downvoting your page and your rankings will start going down. That is all of this is about on-page optimization efforts. The other part of SEO is around off-page. which essentially is around getting backlinks from other authoritative sources. Now I operate in the payment space. If I can get a link back from another authoritative wiki page, which is on say payments, which wiki pages have extremely high domain authority. They're considered extremely credible by Google. If I can get a link back from a wiki page, or if I can get a link back from other, authoritative, payment blogs, then it means that those are all signals which is going to Google, which says that, there are all these third parties which are also linking back to Razorpay. So Razorpay's page must be really good, right? So bump up or upward Razorpay's rankings. So that's what you need to focus on, both on page and off page. How do you close sales online